and then get prepared for that Cat 7 rating. From here to, what was it, El Monte? I think it's El Monte. Let me have a quick peek. El Monte Airport. Yeah, and I can show you very quickly. We are currently at San Bernardino over here. And that Cat 7 rating will take us from San Bernardino, crossing this Ontario International Charlie class airspace to the west, all the way to El Monte over there. So again, from one Delta class airport to the next, but then in between we need to cross this Charlie airspace, which is going to be fun, I guess, or I'm sure, really. But first, some traffic pattern flying. We got some VMC on our hands here, so I guess it's going to be very much fun. Just ordinary traffic pattern flying. You know how much I like to do that on airports, so I hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the Uncertified Pilot. I'm Tim, and this is my flight simulator.
All right, we are here at San Bernardino. Very, very good flying weather. Some clouds over there in the distance, but here locally we've got perfect flying weather. So that's great for traffic pattern flying and getting back into shape. Let's have a quick look at the METAR here. No need to get an idea of the forecast. If bad weather would suddenly creep in, we could just easily land and call it a day. So that's the advantage of just doing traffic pattern flying here. San Bernardino, more details. METAR, winds calm, 10 station mile. Well, this is perfect VMC. Awesome. Okay. What we can do, we have enough fuel, I know. We don't need to consider any other stuff in terms of flight planning here other than weather, which is also not a big concern to us. So what we can do right away is start off flying. So let's do that. First off, as you can see, we've got the pitot tube cover on and the wheel chocks on. Let's remove those first. Wheel chocks removed and the pitot tube cover removed, and then we can start with the reset cabin checks, which I forgot last time, by the way, once I reviewed that, when I reviewed that video, episode 50. Reset cabin checks. So, control wheel lock is removed, parking brakes are set, fire extinguisher is there, let's pretend it's in the green, door is closed, window is closed, ELT is set to auto, cabin air is on, heat we don't need, flaps are up indicated. Are they actually up? They are. Let's look at our levers, and they are in sync with my Saitek panel, which is good to know. Alternate static air is off. Trim is working. Let's set our fuel tanks to both already. Cutoff is not cut off. Let's move up. Transponder is off. This stuff is on. Ready. Circuit breakers are in. Good. And this stuff is off as well. Awesome. Reset cabin checks are completed. Let's check for the internal systems. Batteries are on. As you can see here, enough gallons. Landing lights on. Taxi lights on. Strobe lights on. Nav lights on. Pitot heat on. Let's have a look outside. Taxi lights, landing lights, position lights, strobe light on that side and on that side, and I can see here the position light and the beacon, so that's good. Stall horn. I never actually, I should do that. I know with the Skylane that you need battery power for the stall horn to sound, but I don't know actually if that's also the case for the Skyhawk, really. And you guys should hear this. In the previous episodes with the Skyline, I couldn't hear the sounding of the stall horn when I was doing these checks somehow. I don't know why. But I should actually review my videos to see if that's also the case here for the Skyhawk. I don't know if this is actually needed as a check when the batteries are on. If you could just do this with some sucking device while you're doing the exterior walk around. Anyhow, go to the pitot tube and it's warm. Good. Landing lights off, all the lights off except for the beacon, and pitot heat is off. Let's move on. Avionics on. We hear a beep, full illumination of the autopilot. That's good. We move on to the right here. Flaps down. And they go down, and they go down in sync. Very good. Awesome. Okie doke, we move upwards. Let's test the transponder, all full illumination, and on standby we can see if it's already preset to VFR. It is. Good. Back to off. Frequencies, I just reset them a bit so we are not disturbed by ADC, but I guess this is just still tower in the standby COM1, and this is ground, which is just reset a bit. And 124.17 is 8 is what you're going to check soon when the engine is on. So that's we'll leave that as it is right now. Annunciator panel. Let's see if that is actually working. All lights are working. Usual illumination there. We've got gallons indicated and no circuit breakers have popped out just yet. So that's good. Avionics off, batteries off. Cool. We can start our walk around. Let's do that. Boom. Okay, so let's pretend our pitot heat is not obstructed with any dust or stuff. Package door, it is locked. Tail, tie-down is removed. Seems to be just right. Connected, connecting rod, stuff looks good too. Wiggle of the trim tab, flaps, good, connected. Control arm, ailerons. They look good. Tie-down is removed. Wear and tear, none. Good color, no water in it. Fuel, confirms our reading. Oil, good color and enough quartz. Sump, good color, no water. Let's check the prop. Blades, no dents, no damage, good. Then the intakes, no bird's nests, good. Static port is clear. Other wing tank, enough gallons, confirms our fuel gauge. No contamination, good color, no wear and tear. And again, this wear and tear, I think it's not simulated here on A2A in Prepared. So we just pretend that we don't see any wear and tear. And with X-Plane, as you know, in one of my earlier episodes, you could see a red dot here, a red dot here on the tire and a red dot here on the iron part here. And if that would be not aligned, if those two red lines were not aligned, that indicates that the wheel has had some kind of a bump or some kind of a push and got disconfigured, and that might indicate damage. So that will be a way to check whether the wheels are still intact. Hey Dad, welcome aboard. So yeah, but here in A2A, I think it's not simulated. Tie-down is removed, stall horn, then the fuel vent is clear. Ailerons are good. Flaps, wiggle, looks good, sounds good, and the control arm is intact and secure as well. So that completes the exterior walk around. Awesome. So that means that our internal systems are okay, our external systems or parts are okay, so there's no need for us to visit the maintenance hangar. We are ready to go. Our airplane is airworthy. Alrighty then, so that means that we can start with our before engine start checks. First off is again our flight. Well, nothing big going on here, just traffic pattern flying here on San Bernardino just to get into shape again, get some confidence going. And I really like doing traffic patterns. We might encounter some other traffic as well. I'm not sure. I think there's a fly in or fly out here on the PilotEdge network today to some airport away from the outside of the service area, I believe. So perhaps there's no traffic at all here in San Bernardino, but a lot of traffic going on elsewhere, and we might be completely alone soloing here on San Bernardino. I don't care. Let's just have some fun anyway. We've got good weather, as you can see by the green indication here. METAR, winds calm, no clouds, so that's good. And we're not really concerned with the weather forecast because we're flying locally here. You can see some weather there to the south. You can see it's a little bit increasing there, a little more cloud formation than 15 minutes ago when we started the stream, but it looks good. So that's the advantage of flying locally. And we're not concerned with any alternate airports and fuel. We have enough, so that's very, very, very basic. So let's get this party started. Let's fasten our seatbelts here, and they are fastened. Let's close the door. Open a window because otherwise, when the engine is not on, there's no wind coming in from these vents because the propeller does that, really. Or I don't know if yeah, I think the propeller, or partly the propeller is just also just air coming in. I think also through these vents here, there are also air filters here on the wing side, on the leading edge here. And you can adjust those actually. And I think these are also air vents here. I think you can actually change those. Yeah. But they don't work if we're standing still. So that's why I open a window, because otherwise the windows air in the A2A awesome Cessna Skyhawk would fog up. And that's not what we like to see. All right. So door lip closed. Alrighty. We've got our plan check. So what we can do is, again, parking brakes are set. Let's release our parking brakes to see if our brakes are actually working. Differential braking, and they feel firm. Parking brakes reset. Fuel tanks are set, and everything seems to be just fine. Circuit breakers are in, and beacon light is still on. At least the switch is flipped on, so that's good. So that means that we are ready to start our engines. So let's do that. Batteries on. Let's prime the engine. 1, 2, 3. Cut off. Throttle in. Hand on the mixture there, and one hand on the ignition switch. Let's have a look. No one around. No people flow here. Nope. So clear prop. Mixture full in. Ignition switch back to both. 1200 RPM. Let's see the oil pressure rise there. Within 30 seconds in the green. Good. Generator on, and let's lean for ground operations. Watch that RPM needle. Slightly dropping there. You can hear it as well in the sound. So a little bit enriching the mixture here so that we maximally leaned. And then we reset to 1000. Good. And we allow the airplane to warm up. Avionics on. And flaps can go up. Transponder on, so then the controller knows here we are. And we can set our virtual headphones off, so that's better. Alright, frequencies. Let's listen to ATIS.
Kilo, Sierra, Bravo, Delta, automated weather observation, 1938 Zulu. Wind, calm. Visibility, greater than 20 miles.
Perfect.
Sky condition, clear.
Perfect.
Temperature, 28 Celsius.
Perfect.
Dew point, -1 Celsius. Altimeter, 3013. Kilo, Sierra, Bravo, Delta.
Alrighty, altimeter is set, and as you can hear, we've got automated weather observation here at San Bernardino, even though on the sectional we should have ATIS, as you can see, 124.175, but somehow that ATIS is not an ATIS, but a WAS here. So we don't have any weather code, Bravo or Charlie or Foxtrot or whatever. So when we sign into ground soon, we're just going to say we have the weather, which is a code for we're ready to go. At least here on PilotEdge, virtually. Okay, so that's good. Ground is 121.8, and I set it to 82, so we don't get interrupted here. PilotEdge is working. 119.45 now on the standby on COM1 is tower, so that's good. And we only need ground and tower here when we're flying on a Delta class airport. So that's pretty much it. We don't need any radios here. Let's verify that our magnetic compass is synced, or our heading indicator is synced with our magnetic compass. I didn't find any gyro drift, by the way, up to now, which kind of surprised me, because I know with the Skylane before, the heading indicator would, especially with a new flight, would be off in terms of direction, and you should reset it with this knob here. So that kind of makes me think that I didn't turn on gyro drift. Let me have a quick look. Enabled gyro drift. It was off. And enable auto mixtures all off, no auto rudder. Okay, so everything was realistic except for enable gyro drift. Okay, that explains. I like to incorporate that as well in my checks, and so far I was quite aware of gyro drift, so that's good. But I would like to get that simulated in my cockpit as well. So from now on, I know that this indication, this instrument might actually over time get drifted away from my actual magnetic compass. And so over time, even during my flight, I should check whether those still are in sync. Okay, we don't need time here. We're just staying in the traffic pattern. We've got enough gallons. Engine is getting warm. Let me show you. Almost in the green. So that's good as well. So that means that we are ready to go. What I am interested in is taxiing, obviously. Plates. No. Airports. San Bernardino International, right? And I'd like to see the taxiways. Taxiways. Thank you. Okay. So, we are located right over there. We've got winds calm, so let's look up what the winds calm runway is of San Bernardino, if there is any. I think it would be 24. As usual, the winds are coming from the ocean, so that means that we got a very short taxi via Alpha 224. That's what I'm expecting, but let's have a look at the airport facility directory to make sure that that is the winds calm runway. Can I just brief that like that? Yeah, San Bernardino. Right. Runway 06, designated winds calm runway. Okay, it's the other side. Okay, but still PilotEdge, because those guys are so nice, they can assign us to a to 06 anyway, or they're 24 anyway, because they know that's much more nearby. I don't know, perhaps they are aware of those winds calm runways and they might instruct us for 06. In that case, we can expect a taxi to Alpha 206. This would be a much longer taxi, but that's about it. What we could also do, which might also be new, I guess, for me at least, what we could also do is request an intersection takeoff. So rather than going to 06 to the threshold line, the run-up area there at 06, we could also say, well, let us give, we could request Alpha 1, or even Charlie. But I guess Charlie would be a little bit too challenging. I don't know. The runway is 10,000 feet in length, as you can see. So 5,000 feet would still be quite a long way for us to do our departure. This is a very long runway, as I know. So Charlie might also be an option here. So let's do that. Charlie, it's going to be. So what I'm going to do is just check in with ground, saying here we are for a close traffic. Then they might give us a taxi instruction, and we can then add to that instruction and saying, hey, could we get an intersection departure from Charlie for 06? I guess that would be the right order of doing things. So let's have a look and see what the controller is saying. Get my scratch pad ready. Engine is already getting warmed up, which is good. So let me reset my frequencies to ground 121.8. Let's have a listen. We're currently at the northeast ramp. I'd like to hear some controllers first, or some pilots first, to make sure that we're still online. I had some trouble with in the previous episode with the previous flight that PilotEdge was just it hang the app, the application, and so I was off.
078 Golf. Runway
Cool.
29
I was off of the PilotEdge network.
Runway 29 are good for the option. 078 Golf.
All right, so that's good. We can ask for close traffic. So what I'm going to say is San Bernardino ground, Sky Hotel Tango India Mike is on the northeast ramp with the weather for closed traffic. And then the controller would say, well, get ready, taxi to runway 24 or 06. If it's 06, then we don't. If it's 24, we don't need an intersection departure, obviously, because it's very near. If we got 24, then I'm going to request for that Charlie intersection departure afterwards. San Bernardino ground, Skyhawk Pop Hotel Tango India Mike on the northeast ramp with the weather for close traffic today.
Papa Hotel, Tango India Mike, San Bernardino ground. Good day. Can I get you to do me a favor and log off the network, then log back in? And the call sign, take out that dash. It kind of messes with your data tag and how we see you on the network.
Sure, we will reconnect with the network and change that call sign. We'll be back very, very soon. Thanks.
Alright, see you soon.
All right, that's new. So,
Laughlin Tower, Cessna
apparently,
1 Bravo X-ray,
and I cannot show you guys,
about 10 miles.
so disconnect, bye-bye. Somehow, for the first time now, that dash of Papa Hotel Tango India Mike is somehow disrupting something on their radar, which is fine. I still like to keep Papa Hotel Tango India Mike because Papa Hotel is the prefix for all the call signs in the Netherlands. And as I'm living in the Netherlands, I think that's cool. Also, it's become a brand of the uncertified pilot, so I'd like to keep the Papa Hotel Tango India Mike stuff, but changing or removing that dash is fine. Let me see in the settings where I should remove that one. Settings, I guess not. It's just... Let me see. Multiplayer, radio, voice... No. Connecting. Ah, right. Call sign. Papa Hotel Tango India Mike. Remove the dash. And is there any other place there where I need to change it? No, it's just still a Cessna 172. Connect. Reconnected. Okay, let's sign in again. San Bernardino ground. Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango India Mike back again here on the northeast ramp with the weather for close traffic.
Papa Hotel, Tango India Mike, San Bernardino ground, runway 6, taxi by Alpha.
Runway 6 via Alpha for Papa Hotel Tango Mike. Okay, so that's a short one. We don't need any intersection takeoff here. Okay. So, engine is still warmed up? Yes, it is. So let's go. No frequencies to reset. Taxi here to the left. I see the runway already over there. And I can see Alpha on that side. Just make sure that we're not taxiing on the wrong side. I think I need to taxi all the way over there, make a U-turn, and then get on Alpha. Okay. Parking brakes released. Check our brakes first. They are working. If I would have a co-pilot here, he or she should also tap the brakes to make sure that those are working as well.
Tower, this is Bonanza
Turn indicators working, slip indicators working, heading indicators working, attitude indicators still stable. Resetting to about 900 RPM to get a stable taxi here with the Cessna.
Number 9er,
And there we go.
Romeo Quebec Mojave Tower. Safe position relative to the field, please.
4.2 miles west, 919 Romeo, Quebec.
Louis Tower, Skyer 59147, radio check.
Number 9er, Romeo Quebec, enter left traffic, runway 30.
Left traffic, runway 30, 919 Romeo, Quebec.
Aircraft calling for a radio check. I got you 5x5.
No traffic to the right.
Sierra 7A Golf, runway 29, clear for the option.
And there we go.
Runway 29 clear for the option, 7A Golf.
Nice
Number
mountains.
9er, Romeo Quebec, is that you just north of the field?
We
You're
can
heading
enjoy the
northeastbound.
textures once more by daytime. My previous flights were by
affirmative.
night, so
Number 9er, Romeo Quebec,
looking
roger,
forward
and
to
right
see some
traffic
more
on
LA
right traffic, runway
textures.
30. You're reported west, so I assumed that you would be able to enter left traffic for
heading
30.
bug is already set to
But,
06.
accurate
That's
position
good.
will be pretty important. So enter right traffic, runway 30, clear to land.
Right traffic, runway 30.
Number 9er, Romeo Kilo, just confirm you are clear to land, runway 30.
Still clouds are doing okay.
9 Romeo, Quebec.
Just a few puffs. Nothing that we need to worry about. And we're not expecting
Tower, Titan 9er Bravo
very
X-ray
rapid weather
is
changes,
on
but
the
still.
2-mile final 434.
Hey, Alex. Welcome
Titan
aboard.
9er, Bravo X-ray, runway 34, clear to land.
Clear to land 34, 9er Bravo X-ray.
Engine is warm enough for our power check. And warm enough means that the oil temperature over there is in the green, as you can see. And in front of us, the run-up area. That's Alpha 24. So let's go a little bit here further on and let's turn. Okie doke. And brakes. Alright. Mixture full in. Engine is warm. Brakes, just manual braking. 1800. Let's do our max check. 1800. No unshaded messages. Engine is stable in the green. Looking good. Left mag. Small drop. Small enough a drop. Back to both. Good. Right mag. It's a little bit rough as you can see. So we need to...
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike. It appears that you taxied runway 24. Your instructions were runway 6.
Oh, damn it. You're so right. That's a mistake on our part. We'll taxi along Alpha and go to 24 anyway. Papa tell you, Mike.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike. I can accommodate runway 24 if you'd like. We can get you to depart straight out. You can do a 1-8 back at runway 6 and keep you in the pattern there.
Oh, let's do that then. We'll do a straight out for 24 and then make a 180 turn and get that 06 traffic pattern going.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, roger. Straight out departure approved, runway 24. Clear for takeoff. Report your turn inbound, please. Wind is 240 at tree.
Right, clear for takeoff 24. We'll go straight out and we'll report our turn and head back to 06 when we do. For Papa telling you, Mike.
We're 9 Bravo X-ray taxi.
All right.
Alpha monitor ground. See ya.
That's a nice mistake, guys. First, I would like to repair that. Perhaps we should let the tower know, because it takes some time to get this fouled plugs removed. The San Bernardino ground, Sky Hotel Tango India Mike. We have some fouled plugs here on our hands, so we'll take a few minutes to clean those up before we take off. Is that okay?
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, not a problem. Let me know before departing. Cancel takeoff clearance.
Cancel takeoff clearance and we'll let you know when we're ready. Papa Hotel Tango Mike. Because other traffic might come in or whatever, and so the controller would like to know what we're up to. So I think that's a safe decision there. All right, so 1800. Good. Then we'll lean. Well, let's go to 2000. I know it's not 1800. We need to get that engine really, really hot, or those cylinders hot for that foul plugs to get removed. So leaning, not too much. Something like that, I believe, and keep it there for 20 seconds. Hey Alex, welcome. But man, 2.4 it was. No, it was, yeah, it was 6. I went for 2.4. My gosh, I made that confusion while I was chatting with you guys, by the way, mistaking my taxi direction for 2.4. But I will keep it at 06 because we're going to make that turn U-turn once we are straight out. Keep that engine nice and hot, still stable. Now let's have a look. So mixture full in and back to 1800. Let's do a check again.
070 Golf, runway 29.
Left. Looks good. Back to both. Why is my Mac not working? Left, right. And the right one works as well. Cool. So we fixed our spark plugs. Let's go all the way down to idle. See if our oil pressure is still in the green. Yes, no annunciator messages. Very, very good. So everything is stable still. Back to 1000 and now we're ready to go. Close our windows, landing lights on, strobe lights on, heading Boga set, straight out. We'll get to traffic pattern altitude, make a U-turn, and then go upwind on the 06 and continue our legs, which is interesting. Interesting maneuver, new maneuver. All right. I will check in with tower this time because for now we're ready. It's 119.45, right? 119.45. Yes, it is.
It's a 9er Romeo Quebec, left turn on Charlie. Charlie to the ramp. Alpha, if you need it, remain this frequency. Let me know when you get parked.
Left to the ramp, 919 Romeo Quebec. Remain this frequency.
Nice clearance. Good morning. Arrow 416 Juliet Kilo IFR to John Wayne, please.
Taxi to the threshold line here.
Arrow 416 Juliet Kilo. Van Nuys clearance clear to John Wayne Airport. Adam 2 departure. Adam, then is filed. Climb via SID, accept maintain 4000, expect 5000 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 134.2, squawk 4212.
Keep that engine on 1000 RPM, keep it warm.
I'm
keep
cleared
it jogging.
to John Wayne, Adam 2 departure to Adam, that is filed. Climb via SID, accept 4000, 5 after 5, 134.2, 4212 to squawk 416 Kilo.
Traffic pattern
Arrow
altitude
6
is
Kilo,
2000
repeat
MSL. Good to know. So not
Lobby
1200.
Tower, Bonanza 919 Romeo, Quebec, and
No.
the RAM.
Let's get a gap here in the transmission.
Number 9 Romeo Kilo. Thank you, sir. I'm putting that in as a pass for the Cat 6. Congratulations. Just want to
Haiti flyer.
affirm accurate position reports are vital, especially for sequencing into the airport. Other than that, great job.
Good feedback from the controller.
Thank you very much.
I like this guy.
919 Romeo, Quebec. Good day.
He's new. San Bernardino Tower, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango and Mike is holding short 24 at Alpha, ready for departure. That's straight out departure and U-turn. Yeah.
Papa Hotel Tango and Mike, runway 24, clear for takeoff, wind 240 at tree.
Clear for takeoff, 24 Papa Hotel Tango and Mike. Okay, good. There we go. Again,
Sirius 70 golf,
making
right,
sure no one is on final
Contact
here. Nope, no one's on the runway. Good.
Right turn when able, contact ground, 70 golf.
One thing I forgot with my pre-flight and also with my run-up is... Got some time there, guys, to think what I forgot, but I know. Which is a risk now, but... Flight control tests. I didn't do those. Okay, we're lined up. Full power. Everything is in the green. Airspeed is live. 40. 50. Still good. Everything is in the green.
San Luis ground,
And there we go.
78 golf on Charlie off of runway
Keep that
29,
nose a
forward
bit
turn.
down to get that speed going. Awesome.
Sirius 777A golf, San Luis ground.
Really pushing on that yoke, so
Taxi ramp,
gonna
repeat
relieve that
alphas.
pressure with some nose down trim. You can see that the runway, by the way, is pretty much sloped.
Sirius 78 golf, that's a pass for the Cat 3. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks for your help.
So what I'm going to do now is fly to 4 to about traffic pattern altitude, I guess.
Cessna 189 Bravo X-ray is a Cessna Titan.
2,000
overhead
feet.
the, South hangars.
And then make a
Mason Zulu,
left turn
to the active VFR departure.
and report that turn for our upwind so the controller knows what we're doing. I'm going to overfly the runway upwind and then get to left-hand traffic pattern fly.
Runway 34 taxi via Alpha. What's your direction of flight?
Nice
34
textures.
via Alpha, and we'll be heading to the southwest for 9 Bravo X-ray.
So Ontario is over there. This is that close. This is Rialto, I think. Traffic pattern altitude. Still gonna go a little bit more high up, I guess. Just to get above traffic pattern altitude. So when we make the turn, we've got some leverage there.
Downwind clearance, Delta 727, San Francisco with the weather.
And let's get a speed of around 90 going, or 100.
Alright, stand by.
Something like this. Nose down. Trim. Good. Let's go a little bit more further down. All right.
Nice ground, Arrow 462 Kilo, west ramp with the weather, request taxi.
For 42 Kilo, Venom runway 16 right, taxi via Alpha Charlie.
New controller.
Alpha Charlie for 16 right, 162.
San Bernardino Tower, Sky Hotel Tango Mike is turning for 06 180 degree turn to enter the left close traffic for 06.
But I'll take you into Mike. Out of left down runway 6, clear to land.
We're enter left hand 06, clear to land, Hotel Tango Mike. I'm going to change that to a touch and go because we're close traffic still. Let me see. There we are. We've got that turn here going. Well, we've got a... Yeah, he knows that we're still on the traffic pattern. It's interesting to know, by the way. I don't know if that's in the real world the case as well. That the controllers change every so often, I guess after a couple of hours, but always on the full hour. So it's now 9 o'clock here in the Netherlands, and that's the time when the controllers change. Also on PilotEdge.
Good afternoon, Duke 5440 Hotel.
All right, so back to traffic pattern altitude. There we are.
544 Julia Hotel Las Vegas clearance on request.
Oh, there's still the old controller. Interesting. That's new. 2 controllers on the same frequency. All right, 100 knots on the upwind 06. So now we're just going to act as if we would have departed 06 and making that left downwind, left crosswind. Very soon. Nice scenery. Again, some other airport over there. March would be over there somewhere, I guess beyond those clouds, beyond those mountains.
Target afternoon, arrow 1 kilo, holding short, 16 right at Charlie, ready for IFR departure.
What we're going to do when we're on the downwind here, left downwind for 06, I'm just going to ask for a touch and go. We already got clearance for landing, but that's not really what I requested. I guess the controller just inferred that I was going for a full stop landing, which is quite usual. Alright, let's make that crosswind turn.
Julia Kilo Van Nuys Tower, runway 16 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, 16 right, 162.
Bullet Tower, Titan 189 Bravo X-ray, holding short, 3-4, ready for departure.
Getting back to 2000, our traffic pattern altitude.
Alright,
crosswind.
Clear for takeoff, wind calm.
Good.
Clear for takeoff on 16 right, 162 again.
There's the runway.
Titan 189 Bravo X-ray, bullhead tower, you said you're south, Roger.
Some rudder there.
Roger, will be southwest
Good.
departure for 9 Bravo
Nose
X-ray.
up, Tim, nose up.
9 Bravo X-ray, on course to improve runway 34, clear for takeoff, wind 35011.
There comes the heading block to the
Clear
bottom.
Takeoff 3-4, on course departure.
Downwind.
For 9 Bravo X-ray.
Good. Parallel to the
Tango
runway.
India Mike. I believe your last clearance was to land. We did have a controller ship there, but maybe it was a miscommunication there. Did he clear you to land?
Yeah, it did me clear to land, but I thought that I could just ask for a touch and go when I was on the left downwind because we're still here to do some close traffic pattern flying. So that's my mistake, I guess.
Yeah, clearance to land means that he's expecting you to do a full stop. Missed approach would be another ordeal, you know, if it was like bulk landing, emergency situation, that's fine. Just for future reference. Alright, number Papa Hotel Tango India Mike runway 6 cleared for the option. On the go, enter right traffic. Report midfield each time.
Alright, clear for touch and go 06. We'll go for the right hand traffic pattern flying and we'll report midfield each time. Papa Hotel Tango Mike.
Aero 6 Julia Kilo
Okay.
with that departure.
This is our 162.
So
Actually, I've got a software problem.
that would be a lesson of
I don't know why. I'm going to just
not ignoring miscommunication between the tower and you and just immediately correcting for those
So you're disconnected from the network now, or did you need to
while flying.
probably better if I
Confusion
just
is bad. Should be avoided.
Roger, call call me once you reconnect so I can get your flight shirt back up.
What's also interesting, by the way, I'm just managing
Number
here
4
my
Juliet
first
Hotel,
flap.
Sorry for the delay. Give me just another minute on your
Nose
clearance.
down, keeping that speed going.
problem,
I haven't looked up the traffic pattern flow for San Bernardino. So I was assuming that it would be a left hand, but perhaps in the airport facility directory it should be a right hand. So that's also something that I should be much more aware of. There's the runway.
All right, the one who's having trouble getting in contact with an air controller.
Right.
What's your call sign again?
It's Pilatus 101 Juliet Papa off of Brownfield.
Love that
to Camarillo.
voice transformation there. Just a bad microphone, I guess, but it sounds really, really real. Okay, that's base. Get that speed into the wide band.
101 Juliet
Here.
Papa. What frequency were you trying?
Because that's the airspeed that we need to get to our second notch of flaps. There we go. That will slow us down
be
further.
The one to talk to. Unfortunately, not much I can help with there. I do know that there was a controller change going on in place, so maybe switch back there and try it again. There's absolutely nothing I can do for you with my position. I'm a tower controller, not a radar.
Keep that speed going. Still a little bit high up. Watch that.
One's Juliet Papa, roger that. I guess I'll just keep trying and execute the flight plan. There's an altitude change involved, but I'll try it again.
Interesting to listen to these recordings. You should
Right,
actually.
If it's an emergency, then you do what you have to do to keep the aircraft in place or in a safe environment. Also, you consider your cruise altitude. Whatever they said was 10 minutes after departure, 5 minutes after departure, whatever the chart said. So
get that speed
those
to
are some
60.
things to think about there if it's an emergency situation.
Hey, no worry, dude. I'm just, this is a simulator. I'm just trying to get the actual experience here of the system. But, okay, I'll just keep trying on 1196. And FYI, we're out of 3,000 for our cruising altitude of 8,000 feet. That's 101 Julie Papa.
Roger, good luck.
Interesting. Okay, 60.
Number
Here we
4,
go.
Juliet Hotel, clear to John Wayne Airport. On departure.
Focusing
fly
on that
heading
far end of the runway.
175.
Nose up. Throttle back.
Expect radar vectors to join.
A little bit too
at
early of a
Victor
flare.
538.
Nose up,
Minus 5.
nose up, nose up, nose up, nose
Maintain
up, nose up,
5,000.
nose up.
Expect flight level 200.
Ah, a little bit too
5
harsh.
minutes after departure.
Flaps up.
Departure frequency 1.
Full power.
25.9.
There we go.
Squawk 20.
Wide hand traffic pattern. 50. Dancing on the rudders here. Rudder pedals 60. Rotate.
38.
Good. Get that speed to around 75 VY. But what I was saying was, it's so educational to listen to those recordings. PilotEdge records every day's transmission. All the transmissions on the PilotEdge network are recorded and made available publicly on the PilotEdge network. So you can download them and listen to them and learn a lot about protocol and these weird situations, funny stuff as well.
6, Juliet Kilo. Yeah, your new squawk code is
very educational.
2122. Your clearance has not changed, but I'm curious, what did I give you as initial altitude before?
You gave me climb base said 4,000. Expect 5 after 5.
Number 6, Juliet Kilo. Roger, that is still current, and squawk code is 2122.
2122 for the squawk. As soon as I've done the squawk, I'm ready to taxi.
Okay, traffic
Number 6,
pattern.
okay, Roger. From
Should
here,
have
we'll
made that
take it as
crosswind
if,
turn earlier, by the way. 300 feet below
contact me as ground and position, all that good stuff, and all
the traffic pattern altitude.
Very nice ground. Arrow points at Kilo on the west.
Speed back.
Air 416
Good.
Juliet Kilo, Van Nuys ground, runway 16 right, taxi.
There we are on our crosswind turn. 2000. Yep. Make the turn to downwind.
Or IFR clearance to San Francisco.
Delta 727. I'm not sure this is bracket.
Thank you for
tower.
following
I'm not
Deacon
sure
Flyer.
who
Thanks.
You're trying to call, but this is bracket tower.
There we are in downwind, and midfield we need to report that we are there.
I'm sorry about that.
Keep that speed below 100 so we can put in that first notch of flap soon.
Skyhawk, looking to be VFR to John Wayne with flight volume, please.
First notch of flaps. Controller's not responding, so let's make our announcement anyway. San Bernardino Tower, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango India Mike is midfield 06 for touch and go.
How about Dell Tingo, India Mike, runway 6, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 06 for Papa Hotel Tango India Mike. Okay.
Cessna 791, Juliet Romeo.
Keep that speed above 80.
Roger.
A little bit more power there.
And are you
nose down trim.
I am not, sorry.
No, you sound different.
I'm rarely on. Skyhawk 1 Juliet Romeo, departure frequency 135.4, squawk 4320.
Oh man, this is good. Basic flying.
45.4 departure.
And you can see I'm still messing things up. Subtle things here, but a little bit out of shape.
Romeo, read that correct.
So returning to those basic flights is good, I guess.
And once you're ready to taxi.
Number 1 Juliet Romeo, roger. Where are you located? And confirm you have the weather.
We're at the base of the ramp and yes, we have the weather. We're Scout for that one,
Okay.
Tower, sorry.
Preparing for that base
Skyhawk
turn.
1 Juliet Romeo, runway 26, taxi via Alpha.
Ideally,
Alpha, runway 21.
the threshold or the numbers here should be around 40, 45 degrees behind you to the right here if you're making that right-hand traffic pattern flow. Somewhere around here, I guess. Sure no one is on final or on base already. Start our descent slowly. Remember though, here on San Bernardino, the traffic pattern altitude is at around 800 feet AGL, right? So that's the difference.
16 right, clear for takeoff, wind calm.
Don't need to descend that rapidly as usual.
Engine around.
There we are, on base. Get that speed in the wideband.
Number 1 Juliet Romeo, yes sir, runway 26 right. I can give you 21 if you'd like.
Now we'll take you 6.
There we are. Second notch flaps. Good.
Palomar Tower, Surfer 285, visual for 24.
There comes the runway. It's 2 wides. Good speed.
Palomar Tower, runway 24,
making that turn.
Wind 26008.
A little bit too slow.
Surfer 285.
I love TrackIR.
Los Angeles Claims Delivery Service, Skylane 222, Sierra Mike, instruments to Orange County.
Alright. There you are. Get that speed to around 65 for short final. Still I'm pulling on that yoke, so
Cessna,
nose down,
I believe it
nose
was
up trim I mean.
Sierra Mike, Las Vegas clearance. I don't have a flight plan on file for you.
Alright, let's see if we can get that touchdown much more smooth than the last time.
And Geo Tower, Skyhawk 791, Geo Romeo with you holding short, 26 right, ready for departure.
Cessna 791, Juliet Romeo, what's your direction of flight?
A little bit more power, nose up
So
trim.
now Romeo, we'll be heading to the south to VFR John Wayne.
Good.
Skyhawk 1 Juliet Romeo, roger, runway 26.
Alright,
clear
get
for
that
takeoff, left,
wing
crosswind
stabilized.
wind
Good.
1604.
There we are.
Left crossing departure, 26 right, clear for takeoff. Skyhawk
Throttle.
791 Romeo.
Idle. Nose up. It's a little bit too much.
Juliet Kilo contact, so departure.
Well, it's better, but still, you can hear it's rough.
Los Angeles
Centered, full power. Streets alive. 60.
Aircraft calling taxi from
There we go.
Landing for VFR standby. Cessna 222, Sierra Mike, Los Angeles.
Good.
I'll request standby.
So, lesson for the next lab is
Palomar Tower, Surfer 285.
turn 300 feet below traffic pattern altitude and get that speed around, keep that speed around 80 or 75.
Ramp to 285.
So that means if our traffic pattern is at 2,000 feet, we should turn around 700, 1,700 here. nose down trim.
Skyline 2, 0 Mike, clear to John Wayne Airport.
There we go.
Departure.
700
Seal
is
Beach.
coming up.
Then
There it is, making sure no one is to the right. Good, making that shallow turn. 15-degree turn. Good.
Departure frequency 125.2.
Keep that
squawk
speed
26,
on
06.
track.
Skyline 222 Sierra Mike is cleared to the Orange County Airport as filed via
There
the
comes traffic pattern altitude.
55 departure.
Push on
direct
that
to Seal
yoke.
Beach,
We can
direct
increase our
destination
turn
climb
now
4,000 feet, contact
and our speed.
125.2, 2606 in the box.
There comes the heading bug for
Skyline 20
crosswind.
Mike, like to confirm the climb instruction is climb the acidic, set maintain 4,000.
There goes the speed, pushing on that yoke.
Correction, climb via the acidic,
Reduce
set,
RPM.
maintain 4,000 for
To keep our speed around 100s.
Skyline 20 Mike, read back right.
And let's turn for
Number
crosswind.
1, Juliet
Coordinated
Romeo,
turn.
Squawk 4320, squawk
Nose
altitude,
up.
Contact SoCal departure.
Standard rate turn. Very nice, Tim. Good altitude management there. Speed is perfect. Good. There's 6 at the bottom. Downwind. Boom. Push on that yoke. There we are. First notch of flaps. Push on that yoke. We're getting at midfield there. Ready to report.
Yeah, Las Vegas ground, Duke 544 Jill Hotel, information Bravo to Atlantic Aviation, request to taxi for IFR departure, please.
Waiting for that response.
Duke 544,
And then
Juliet
we're
Hotel
up.
on Vegas ground. Sorry, was eventually getting to you there. Runway 19 right, taxi by hotel, Foxtrot.
I thought you'd probably be very busy. Yes, taxi via Hotel Foxtrot. Could I have a Juliet departure? The display threshold on this
Intersection departure request.
If you could give me a Juliet.
Already past
Number
midfield
4,
here.
Juliet Hotel. In that case,
Beam the numbers for
runway
now.
19 right, taxi full length by hotel.
Taxi full left via Hotel. Thanks. 544 Jill Hotel.
San Bernardino Tower, Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike is now beam the numbers for touch and go 06.
Sky Tango India Mike, runway 6, clear for the option.
Clear for the option 06, Pop Hotel Tango Mike. Good. All right. We can already start on a downwind leg our subtle descent here. Mage gone. Why did you change from X-plane to prepared? That's always the big question. The turnout for base. I will get to you in just a sec. Alright, not too much of a descent here. Reduce RPM to around 1600 or 1500 RPM. Good, there goes the airspeed. Wide band. Second notch of flaps. There is base. A little bit more RPM there. There we are. I switched to prepared because as a PPL private pilot oriented flight simulator pilot, I'm currently very interested in high realism, aircraft realism in terms of engine management and that kind of stuff. And A2A provides that realism more than the Airflow Labs Cessna 172 for X-plane. And so, based on my flight simulation goals, P3D would be the best fit. And so far, I'm really enjoying the A2A 172, as expected. I also like the weather engine by Active Sky Next. It's more realistic, I believe, and also more pretty than the weather systems in X-plane. But the big reason was A2A's 172, and for a private pilot, it's very educational to get to know, well, how to fix your fouled plugs, to know how to do proper engine and lean management. And that stuff is not properly implemented and integrated in X-plane, I think. Nowhere near, actually. So, on the other side, X-plane has some very nice advantages over prepared, especially in terms of light effects. It looks more pretty, I think. Alright, throttle back. Come on, Tim.
Skyline 222, Sierra Mike, you were clear for the LAX 5.
Yes,
So now that I'm
that's
looking
better.
more at it, we should have given you
Flaps
the
up.
Seal Beach 7 departure.
Keep
Seal
a
Beach.
line
Are you able to
there.
accept that?
Full power. There we go.
Ooh, I like that one better. Seal Beach 7.
Airspeed's live.
Except for
Yeah, the point of what I was going to make is X-Plane looks prettier. Better technology, architecture of the flight simulation engine as well. Also like the sloped runways and the birds and all the other stuff that is implemented in X-Plane. But I'm really looking forward to X-Plane 11
Julia Hotel, Las Vegas Tower,
to see if that improves on that aircraft realism. They have revamped their Cessna Skyhawk, default Cessna Skyhawk. Perhaps that model is much more realistic than
Sandler Ground, Cessna 321 Tango
the Airfoil Lab Cessna. I don't know. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to. But I'm guessing that that will not be the case. That still P3D with A2A wins. Once I have completed my PPL training here, my CAT ratings on PilotEdge, then that whole PPL oriented reasoning is not that relevant anymore, because then I'm moving toward the IFR stuff, the I ratings. And when that's the main focus of my flight simulation training, if those are my goals, then it doesn't really matter that much whether you're flying on prepared or on X-Plane. I mean, at that time, I pretty much know how a Cessna Skyhawk engine works. And then I could decide to fly on X-Plane, I don't know. So that's the reasoning behind it. Alright, making that standard rate turn, a little bit more aggressive turn there. Good. Back on downwind. There we are. So far, so good.
How about Delta Tango India Mike, runway 6, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 06 for Papa Delta Tango Mike. Proactive, good. Still, with each lap here, I feel that my flight scales are getting better. And it's good to interrupt or get a time break here in between CAT ratings rather than just pushing forward, just to take the time. Also just enjoy the whole journey of progressing through your training program, but also it's just good for training as well. Get mindful. Flaps down. Pushing on that yoke, because those flaps are ballooning us.
Duke 4 Julia Hotel, contact departure.
Sniper! Hey Tim, missed you during this week. I guess real life got in the way. Yeah, that's true, Sniper. Got a lot of stuff going, some exciting stuff as well. So for my own company. I'm working as a researcher, PhD student at the university. I also have some part-time work that I'm doing for myself. And that needs some priority as well, and I need to stick to my schedule, otherwise stuff gets not done.
VFR,
and that's why I didn't stream that much.
Hotel, currently at Alpha Delta.
Although I very much like flying, as you know.
Number 629 Victor.
Turning for
Chino,
base, reducing RPM.
Right, taxi via Alpha Papa, cross runway 21,
good.
Direction of flight.
There comes the heading bug. Speed is already in the band.
6 right, Alpha Papa.
Good.
Cross.
Second notch of flaps.
We're headed over to John Wayne.
There we go.
Cutlass 629 Victor.
So far, so good. And but also just sharing what's on my mind, actually, specifically related to my flight simulation flying. I'm really intrigued, actually, by the previous 2 episodes, mostly the episode 49 with those mess ups. And I don't like to sound that dramatic, by the way, of me landing on the wrong airport and almost flying into a mountain, even though it's a serious mistake, but still. I'm really getting intrigued into the psychological dimension of flying. I mean, it seems like a physical hands-on kind of skill, because you're, well, obviously you're using your hands to maneuver the airplane. And sure, you need some knowledge of the instruments and that stuff, but obviously, for the most part, flying is a mental game. And I'm really intrigued by the kind of mental state that you should be in before you even step into the aircraft.
St. Louis Tower.
In terms of concentration or presence, or I don't know what the condition would be.
Of Sienna.
Okay, there we go.
Looking for
a little bit too early cutoff there.
St. Louis Obispo.
Ballooning, ballooning, ballooning. Get that airplane on its ass.
Correction 636, active Victor.
Ah,
San Louis.
not
Tower.
that gentle. Flaps
Stay
up.
position again
There we go again.
relative to the field.
Because I noticed that,
About 92 miles southwest.
as in the real world, my flight performance is really dependent
Number 6, active Victor, Roger, enter left track.
on my mental state, whether I'm concentrated or rested. And I was talking with my girlfriend about this earlier, that I guess that's a difference between real-world flying and flight simulation flying.
Victor, we'd like to request flight to John Wayne.
I'm using flight simulation as a hobby to sometimes, not most of the times, but sometimes to escape from my everyday working life, right? So when I'm busy at work or had a tough time at work and I need to relax, I tend to
stand by 1 moment.
step in my cockpit and get some flying going here on flight simulation. And I've just been reading some studies on the effects of mental stress on performance.
That they're taking advisory services now.
And as you would expect,
departure frequency is 135.4,
stress
squawk 5313.
really deteriorates your flight, well, your performance in general, mental performance, but also your flight performance.
5.4 for departure, squawk 5313.
And so, stepping into the cockpit or getting to fly on flight simulation and flight simulator after a busy working day, a stressful working day, obviously does not benefit your flight performance. And as it so happens, in the previous 2 flights, but especially for the episode 49, I had a quite stressful day, and I thought, oh, let's just get flying going, escape from reality. And I made some big mistakes during that flying. And sure,
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, runway 6, clear for the option.
Clear for the option 06 for Papa Hotel Tango India Mike. Sure, I know that I still need to develop flight skills.
Chino Tower, good afternoon. Cutlass 69 is Victor.
But for the most part, I really feel that it was my mental state that was causing these mistakes. Even in this flight, I think that's still there somewhere in the back of my mind. And the same is true for in the rear world. That stress is a no-go for flying. Get to 100 knots here.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, San Bernardino Tower.
San Bernardino Tower, Papa Hotel Tango Mike, go ahead.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, yep, that's my 3rd time calling trying to reach you there. Runway 6, cleared for the option.
Clear for the option 06 for Papa Hotel Tango Mike. I responded several times somehow, sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Might be a hang up on the, yeah, quite a few things could happen.
No problem. Okay.
Los Angeles ground system.
There we are. Let's get that speed going. First notch of flaps is not in yet.
Taxi for I for departure.
Explaining why we were pitched up that much.
Cessna 222.
Get that speed going.
Los Angeles ground, runway 24.
Beam the numbers. A little bit far off the runway there, or away from the airport. And as you know, that's a could be a potential risk if we got an engine out here, because we cannot reach the airport in time with an engine out. So that's the whole idea of flying tight traffic patterns. All right, there we go.
Cessna 20 Mike, crossing Romeo monitor ground, 0.65.
That's our base turn.
All right, over to ground, 0.65.
All right, back on track.
Crossing Mike.
In the white band, second notch of flaps.
Negative, sir. We'll send you over there at Romeo.
D3 Ridge.
If Romeo will go to ground.
In the UK, we have a saying before every flight, I'm safe. Illness medic. Yeah, that's right. That's the thing that I was thinking about as well.
Number 90 Victor contacts.
It's a very well-known acronym.
Over departure, Cutlass 69 Victor.
For pilots to remember and live by.
Cessna 6 Echo
the psychological pre-flight checks, you could say. Not just checking whether your aircraft is airworthy, but if you as a pilot are airworthy, not just current, but airworthy as well. That you're not ill, not stressed. But I think it's most stress is really relevant, I guess, for serious flight simulator pilot because it's more a hobby, or it is a hobby rather than just a profession or a really it's more a hobby than a real world flight training.
Cessna 227 Papa Fox is about 10 to the south.
I guess many flight simulator pilots, as well as me, tend to escape from our working lives, from our stressful working lives, and get behind the cockpit, get behind the yoke. And so I guess stress might actually be a very subtle... Well, let me just focus on landing here first. Nose up, a little bit fast there. Whoa, that was a ballooning. Yes.
Victor.
Not bad.
I didn't observe from an
Flaps
aircraft
up.
10 miles southeast of the field, proceeding southbound.
There we go. Keep center, dancing on my rudder pedals here to keep on track.
That happened to be you.
Airspeed is alive, 60. That's rotation speed, and there we go. Yeah, but stress is an interesting, even a very interesting ingredient for flight simulator and flight simulation flying, because it does affect your flight performance. As you probably have seen here
If that truly is you, you'd be on
in my
just
episodes.
southeast of the field, so you'd be able to do a 180 proceeds north.
So I'm looking into some literature, some exercises or some techniques that perhaps you can do as part of your pre-flight planning to get into the right mental state, and you can wear off your stress somehow. But
real trouble getting to us, I'd suggest you contacting Santa Barbara approach on 120.55.
I don't know if that's if those techniques are really exist.
Cessna 7 Papa Foxtrot, heavy inside, no need to report runway 29 cleared and land wind, variable at 3.
A little bit too fast there. Hi Tim, first see you live watching from work at Heathrow. Hey Neil, thank you. Thank you for jumping on board. That's our traffic pattern altitude. We can increase our standard rate turn there. Heading box coming to the left. There's crosswind. Speed is increasing. Reduce RPM. Remove right rudder. Keep that traffic pattern tight. Keep close to the airports. Nice turn. A little bit more nose up. There goes the heading bug.
King 3 X-ray Sierra runway.
And there we are.
Wind 0903.
Thank you for following Weejon. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Tower Cessna 227 Papa Fox, turning base, runway 29.
First notch of flaps. Pushing on that yoke. Preparing for our
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, runway 6, observe the option.
runway 06 cleared for the option for Papa Hotel Tango Mike. Hoping that the controller has received my reply this time around.
San Luis Tower, Cessna 227 Papa Foxtrot, short final, runway
Trimming down, trimming down, trimming down, keeping my speed 80 plus.
Cessna 7 Papa Foxtrot, San Luis Tower, runway 29, cleared to land. We're in variable at 3.
I'm seeing something, guys, but I will not.
Sorry, I never that clear to land 29.
Guys, there's something going on with my instruments here. Something is wrong.
Surfair 280.
And I'm not tell you just yet. Just have a look.
9.6, walk 3154.
What is it? Let me know in the chat. Have a look at my instruments. Alright, I beam the numbers. I'll past the
Here,
numbers.
3 X-Racer Air, north or south.
Parking south, 3 X-Racer.
Number 3 X-Racer Air, left turn when able, taxi to ramp via the south taxiway, remain this frequency.
Making my base
Ramp
turn.
VSX taxiway, King Air 3 X-Racer.
Reducing RPM. There we go.
Number 2 Sierra Mike, you still on this
Not
frequency?
descending too fast.
Hey, firm 2 Sierra Mike.
Number 2 Sierra Mike, alright, you passed Romeo about half a mile ago. You should be on the
That's
north ground
space, white band,
Alright, I'll be on
speed,
down
not
65,
yet, not
thank
yet, not yet, not
2
yet.
Sierra Mike.
And that's because I still have high RPM. There we go. Next notch
Number
of
7
flaps.
Papa Foxtrot, taxi ramp by Alpha Monitor ground, see ya.
Frozen attitude.
The ramp
Neil,
on
no,
Alpha monitor
that's not true.
ground, 7 Papa Fox.
It's not my frozen attitude indicator. It's not a big problem though. There's not a big thing going on right now, but I am noticing something is changing. There we go. Speed is okay, but we need to go to 65. Perhaps you can see it now. Too much of a turn there. All right. Look at the heading indicator and look at the magnetic compass. Well, it's shifting. It's shifting. Not too much. Perhaps it's
Survey 285 Palomar ground.
well, it's already drifting a bit.
4V Alpha, Survey 285.
I was noticing gyro drift, I think. Just a slight beginning of gyro drift. And I guess it's also interesting that when I turn, the magnetic compass actually changes direction, moves, which is as well what you would expect actually. Whoa. All right, one more time. Throttle, that's too much of a yoke correction. Come on, gentle. Up, 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 up. Ah. Again, low power. Okay, this is going to be our last lap, guys. Well, still you can see. Well, not too much of a gyro drift. I guess I was over exaggerating here.
6 active Victor, San Luis Tower. How far out?
About 3 mile final for.
Okay, let's make this a good one.
At the wrong airport because
Nose up.
You're nowhere in sight.
Let's get to VY. Asmania, welcome. Welcome on board. There we are. VY.
Alright, Roger.
Keeping track here.
Number 6
700. Making that turn. Gentle turn first. Watch that speed, Tim. Watch that speed.
Is observed. Appear to be about to land on L52.
There we are. Traffic pattern altitude, turning.
Roger, my badge. I can't find a visual on the,
That's
San Luis Obispo Airport, so I just
crosswind. A little bit overturned there.
I mean, you're not hurting
going.
me. If you don't mind, is this your first flight on the network?
Oh, a little bit too
yes,
nose
sir.
down. Just a little bit sloppy
All right,
turn
let me
to
know
downwind.
when you have a second to take a note. I have a program that might help you.
All right, nose up, trim here. Good. A little bit too much nose up.
Ready to copy.
Number 6 active Victor.
First
Go
notch
to
of
the
flaps.
PilotEdge.net homepage. It's PilotEdge.net where you signed up. At the top, you'll see a Pilot Center tab. Hover your mouse over that. In there, you're going to see a training program list. Start with the CAT ratings. That's CAT.
Some guy is getting some instructions to get training.
Some workshops that you can use in there as well. They're video workshops. They tell you kind of how to navigate the FAR, use sectional charts, so on and so forth, so this type of stuff doesn't happen. I definitely suggest
Well,
that.
I'm
Get
still
a
noticing
normal subscription, so there's no extra charge.
some drift here, but it seems to be bigger, greater on the southwest direction than the north.
Can we go back to L52?
Interesting.
On that PilotEdge training.
Number 6, Echo Victor. L52 is an uncontrolled field. You're not in my airspace, and it doesn't appear that you're in controlled airspace or a mandatory ATC.
Ah, the guy
airspace,
is
so,
doing transmissions to a
frequency changes at
controller
your discretion.
while he's on a non-towered airport.
Alright, appreciate it.
Papa Hotel, Tango India, Mike runway 6, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 06, so we'll make a full landing this time. Papa Hotel, Mike.
Thank you.
Los Angeles Tower, Skyline 222, Sierra Mike on Echo 7, holding short.
It's always good to let the controller know when you
Skyline 222, Sierra
stop
Mike,
your
Los
circuit
Angeles Tower,
traffic
runway
pattern
2,
flights,
4 left, clear
because
for
a full
takeoff,
step landing
2408.
will
Clear for takeoff, 24 left, 2 Sierra Mike.
Palomar Tower, Pilatus, or corrections, for 285, hold short.
we'll keep the runway reserved. How should I say that in English?
Prepar 285, Palomar Tower, runway 24.
Let me focus first, guys. Come on.
250
Base. Get into the wide band here
For 285.
with the speed. Not just yet. Not just yet. Don't rip off the flaps of the wing. There we go. 2 wides. All right. Yeah. So it's good to announce to the tower when you cancel your, or not cancel, when you stop your traffic pattern flying and go for a full stop, because making a full stop will keep the runway busy or used a bit longer than when you would do a touch and go. And so when there would be any inbound traffic there, the controller could ensure for more spacing
Ground, good afternoon. King Air
between
4
traffic,
X-Racer, requesting IFR to John Wayne.
between you and the other inbound traffic. That's the idea.
Hoffman Ground, clear to
All
John
right,
Airport on departure,
final
flight
try here of today.
2,
Episode
10,
51.
expect radar vectors limbo, then
Let's
smile.
make it a good one here.
Maintain 3,000, expect 5,000, 5 minutes after departure.
Let's go full flaps
Departure
this
frequency
time.
134.9er, squawk 5354.
Go a little bit more slow.
Heading 210, radar vectors limbo.
And I also like to extend my landing here because I like to park over there at the northeast side as we started.
Air 3 X-Racer, read back correct.
So I'm putting in some additional RPM here.
SoCal clearance, November 917 Hotel.
Number 917 Hotel.
There we go.
This is Palomar clearance. There's no such thing as SoCal clearance. You must be used in ForeFlight. They mess that up all the time. Look at the airport diagram, and you'll see the facility name. But go ahead with your request.
Yeah, I was looking to pick up my...
All right, listen to ATC. Here we go. So very gently.
Number 17 Hotel, Roger. On request. Are you familiar with the tech route system?
There we go. Whoa.
I'm not...
Whoa, 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 whoa. And this is an important risky part because
especially in the SoCal area,
if you balloon too soon and too great, like I just did, then you've got a risk of stalling.
So this will be a full to get more familiar with that, you might want to Google tech
10 feet, 20 feet above the ground, and then you can really smash onto the runway again. So in those cases, it's better just to go for a missed approach and go full throttle than to do what I just did. Okay, there comes the...
Number 2, Sierra Mike, contact SoCal departure.
Comes our exit.
Or departure, 2 Sierra Mike, good day.
So no, that wasn't a big...
Departure 285, good job.
Thank you, Skyhawk. Papa Hotel, Tango India Mike. Left turn 1 able taxi ramp via Alpha, monitor ground.
We'll exit the runway and via Alpha to the ramp for Papa Hotel Tango Mike, thanks. There we are.
Number 17 Hotel, cleared along beach.
And we'll keep on the frequency.
Fly heading 250.
Should have repeated that as well to the controller, but I guess that's not really relevant information. Here we are. Landing lights off, strobe lights off.
That is
Traffic here. Let's lean for ground.
Maintain 3,000. Expect 6,000. 5 minutes after departure.
There we go.
Departure frequency 119.6. Squawk 1537.
All right. Could do a little bit more leaning. Back to the ramp. Okie doke. So, as it turns out, I still have some practice to do, guys, with traffic pattern flying and also with landing. I really enjoyed myself, by the way. Yeah, I seem to have lost a little bit of force.
Sky 17 Hotel. Gotta watch the phrasing. It actually matters legally.
Let's switch off PilotEdge here. Yeah, I need to perfect my flight skills a little bit more, I feel. So I don't know what's going on there. I think it's natural just that your flight performance changes over time, but it's also good to have a close and critical look. It's actually a little bit further on than parking here on this line. So let's say somewhere around here. There we are. Alright, parking brakes set to 1000. Okay, so let's remove ourselves, disappear from the radar. That's what we did. Avionics off and cut off. Blah, 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 blah. And there we are. Magneto switch to off. Alternator off, batteries off. And there we are. Control wheel lock removed. Virtual headphones removed. Door is open. Seatbelts released. And let's put on the pitot tube cover. Pitot tube cover. Bloop, there it is. And the wheel chocks. And there they are. Okay, so there we are, guys. Traffic pattern flying. So yeah, I feel that I need to do this more often, I think. And also I was chatting with you guys while we were flying, but still, I think I can do this stuff a bit more often to really stabilize my flight performance or flight skill level, I think. Even though it's just traffic pattern flying, a lot of stuff is involved with doing these. Staying on altitude, watching your airspeed. And I had a couple of laps when I did pretty well. Also, I was just soloing in this traffic pattern at San Luis a couple of episodes ago. I was also flying with some other guys in the traffic pattern, which made it much more challenging. Also, I made a few mistakes, and again, those mistakes, I don't think they are immediately stress related, but they are not necessary. Those are not mistakes that arise by or are caused by just knowledge gaps or something like that. It's just not concentrating or not paying attention or not critically being aware, situational aware. I mean, the first mistake that I made was taxiing to a 2.4 while I was instructed 0.6 and just not thinking about my taxi route, or just confusing myself with my taxi route. So those are just unnecessary, stupid, feigned mistakes. And I'm really getting intrigued or interested in, literature or studies or techniques, mostly techniques, that can help you to elevate that mental state level, that you're much more critical and concentrated. Because I think also reviewing, this particular flight, but also the previous flights, I think that is causing those mistakes. It's not double checking, or it's not critically examining what you're doing. And I think that is one of the most important, most relevant, lifelong learning muscles, brain muscles, that you should develop as a serious pilot, as a real-world pilot, but also as a flight simulation pilot. Trying to, raise that critical awareness, I guess, while you're flying. And that can really prevent a lot of nasty, stupid, unnecessary mistakes. So I'm really interested in seeing what I can do in pre-flight terms to get that mental state up there. And not getting into a casual kind of relaxation mode, which I think is explained by the fact that for me, most of the time, also today, and also yesterday, the previous episode and the episode before that, I stepped into this cockpit and streamed with you guys as a way of just closing down on my working day, my busy working day. And actually, as serious as I am with this flight simulation training, actually I should be pumped up and be very concentrated. It should actually involve much more of a working attitude, engagement, mental engagement, than just sitting back and relaxing and just enjoying the view and chatting with you guys. Even though I'm really much enjoying this stuff, I really like to develop these flight skills for real, also in preparation of my future student flight training, real-world flight training. One solution would be to only stream and fly earlier on the day rather than at the end of the day. But the problem is PilotEdge network here in the Netherlands starts at around 5 in the afternoon. So even I could stream in the morning, I can only fly in non-towered airports and not practice my ATC stuff, which is really now the next chapter of my training. So that's a bummer. I could only fly in the weekends where I don't have a working day. That's something that I could do, so I'm considering to do that. But I'm much more interested actually in finding some exercise or techniques or some things I can do to before I fly, before I stream, or while I'm flying perhaps, to develop that critical awareness continuously throughout my flight, because I think that will prevent me doing making these silly mistakes of not really paying attention, which I think is really is really interesting and really relevant, I think. Bye, Neil. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for your good luck wishes for the next cat rating. Don't know if that's going to be the next episode, though. The Cat 7. We'll have to see. And thank you all, guys, for being here on my flight and watching along. Also on YouTube, guys, I very much appreciate you watching there and your involvement and engagement with my videos and suggesting ways for me to improve my flying, or just plain encouragements for keep on going. It's a very interesting journey here, and even though while I'm progressing, and I really had a sense of, and I think that's also very right to say that I was really making progress there in my flight training. Doing my Cat 6 rating, but it's also good just to be very critical on your progress here and really see where you still have some voids, I guess, some gaps there in your skill set that well, first need some additional attention before you can really progress through the next level. And that's also something that I really enjoy of this hobby, the learning curve. I think when I would be a perfect flyer, perfect pilot here on flight simulation, even though I would be very, very proud, and it would be perhaps even be impossible. I think making mistakes is just part of the flight experience, and it's the way in which you handle those mistakes that really defines you as a perfect pilot. But still, even if I would be able to make these perfect flights and not make any mistakes, I think that wouldn't be that much of a thrill, really. And still having a long way to go in terms of my flight training is what this hobby makes so great and so exciting, to me at least. So I shouldn't complain at all. But still, I think that the next focus, the next attention would be that mental state. It's interesting, the psychological dimension to flying, even especially for especially related to flight simulation in my training. So that's going to be a topic where we'll look into some techniques and perhaps share these techniques with some of you here on the stream. If you are aware of those techniques, please let me know, either here on stream or on YouTube or on Twitter or whatever you're watching this video. Just comment here on the video and let me know, or refer me to any websites that might teach me something on that front. It's really, really interesting. All right, that concludes episode 51. Traffic pattern flying here in San Bernardino. Don't know what I'm going to do with our next flight. Perhaps do some additional flying here. Perhaps we're just going to depart here from San Bernardino or go to Palm Springs. Just a regular flight here to get some navigation going, because I'd like to well, do the stuff that I was just talking about, developing more confidence here and brushing off my flight skills. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on board and being my passengers today once more. I hope you enjoyed this particular video, perhaps learned a bit, and hoping to see you very, very soon with my next episode here on the Uncertified Pilot. Great flights and blue skies. Bye.
Welcome to the Uncertified Pilot. I'm Tim, and this is my flight simulator.